Ah, you've arrived at last. This place is vaguely reminiscent of my homeland. Winters longer than I could hope to fathom. Summers that pass in the wink of an eye. The fleeting skies of the latter were much the same as the one we see above us. So you did. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
This the old-timer, Adel?
As I thought, it truly is you. Rollo, my dear husband.
Huh?
Leela, how long has it been? You've suffered in countless ways on my account, and to top it off, I've grown gray and decrepit with age. I was convinced I lacked the dignity to so much as look you in the eye.
Don't be ridiculous. All this time, I assumed you were no longer of this world.
Rollo? The Rollo? You saw this coming? He'd have to be at least 100 years old.
Over 140 or so, in fact, though I've long ceased keeping count. It was my unfinished business that stopped me from shuffling off this mortal coil.
Unfinished business? Actually, that reminds me. Why did you disappear after the Grieger laid waste to your country?
The Grieger? Ah, yes. You speak of the malevolent beings born of the Sea King's throne.
Pardon? Where did you get that idea?
So, you never noticed either, Leela. From here, one can witness the state of the world for what it is. The true nature of the Sea King's throne is that of the latent power within the unconscious minds of man. In particular, humanity's innate ability to forge the world around them. Ho, ho, ho! That is where you are mistaken. The world, as humans know it, exists by way of human thoughts and emotions. Therefore, it is the perceptions of the people in any given time and place that compose the world. Should the world ever change, it is because the hearts and minds of man have changed.
I guess that makes some amount of sense.
But then what need was there to prepare a physical throne?
That is where my understanding ends. Perhaps the gods thought to provide man a means by which to realize his own gifts. The throne that crumbled to dust, I'd wager, was nothing more than a simple armchair.
A mere chair? If that is indeed the case, why do you say it was the throne that brought forth the Grieger?
Those who reside in the lands of Obelia Gulf are pervaded by a deep-seated conception that by no means can they effect change, or that by no means do they wish to. It is those human sentiments that comprise the deathless Grieger in their purest form.
The Grieger are caused by man?
And those feelings of being unable to change things, or having no desire to. That's what keeps him from dying?
Yes, this was as present in the nation I founded as it is in the present age. In times of peace, man wishes for his tranquil days to last in perpetuity. Conversely, in times of strife, he elects to avert his eyes and weather the storm. Although he possesses the power to forge the world, he corners himself into stagnation. Such individuals are the ones who unconsciously give rise to the Grieger.
Does that go for the trident too?
Yes, they are fundamentally the same, albeit somewhat different in origin. From the very beginning, my mother had been incapable of bearing a child. Having married into the house of the Jarl, however, failure to provide an heir would not be brooked. In her desperation, my mother called upon Rollo in prayer, and at last I was conceived.
Wait, Loto?
It is the name of a god considered to be a maverick.
I was always taught never to pray to Loto.
That is because Loto is a god who engenders chaos. Some rumors even hold that it was he who drove the Normans out of their homeland.
What?
That said, there are times chaos can bring about weal just as much as it does woe. Thus do people continue to implore his aid, as had been done in eras past. It is for this reason that he is disparaged by other gods as a divine evil.
Quite so. In response to my mother's pleas, Loto implanted 3 malices into her womb. Such is the story of how I was born.
That's just...
Upon first learning of this, I resented my mother. But in retrospect, I am grateful. After all, she had been willing to go to such lengths to wish for my birth. And then, we have Leela, who awakened my inner self slumbering within the depths of my subconscious.
Rollo.
It must be acknowledged, however, that this very act is what brought about the great calamity in all of its tragedy. I am of a mind to put an end to these malices with which I am one. And quashing malice born of humanity necessitates humans of equal strength.
You wouldn't. You mustn't.
Trident, return to me. I stand before you as your true liege and master.
Stop this!
The malice!
No! No!
Nearly lost myself there.
Rollo?
Those devils could not be vanquished at the time of the Great Calamity. I had my reasons, you see, for whiling my days away in Beevrost, the collective unconscious of humankind. My aim was to devitalize the malices bit by bit, and at the same time...
I'm getting a vision in my head.
Those who not only confront the malice born of their unconscious, but prevail against it. It is with their futures that I cast my lot.
Did Gren just...
Conquering malice requires the strength of will and mind to envision what you aspire to, and be certain you will realize it. The key lies not in cold calculations, but rather the courage to believe in oneself, even in the absence of rational grounds. Adel, that blade you have come to acquire. The Haim's Kringla. It embodies the very courage you and your companions have gained over the course of your journey. Adol, Karja, now is the time for you to strike me down! You'll forgive me for making you a part of it.
You're on. But on one condition.
What might that be?
Leela, you play for his side.
What?
There, Grimps. This round, you and Leela get to fight as a team.
Adol. Karja.
Hell's bells! Ha! I couldn't ask for anything better! Lucky for me, the ones who made it to this isle were two stout young souls like yourselves. Leela!
Yes.
So that's your true form. A mermaid.
Adol. Karja. Thank you both.
We're really in for it now, huh? You won't go holding that against me, right?
Not a bit.
Here it is. The point our journey's been leading up to. This is one fight we can't afford to lose. Let's go, Shield brother!